think I'm recording, yes. I wanna talk, I'm struggling with feeling like I have to, the same as usual, give some conclusion. Like it's not enough to just think out loud about where I am. But that's what I want to do though. I just want to share what's been going on through my mind and my feelings this morning. And it's just this I'm sitting here contemplating if I'm taking too much time, if I should stop recording, come back when I know what I have to say. It's hard letting myself be in the space that I'm in. And maybe I should have gathered myself before hitting record. So I was supposed to go on a date today. It's planned for about half a week or so. And these are my patterns. That's what I want to talk about, my patterns and just the process of freeing myself from them. So I matched with someone on Hinge, and he liked my picture and he left a message with the picture as well. He didn't like my picture, he liked one of my prompts. And I feel like it's because he's talking to me, so not answering will be like just turning away, which doesn't feel good at all when someone's talking to me. Although I'm thinking maybe it actually will be kinder. But I looked at his profile first and I was like, I wouldn't swipe him if he didn't leave the message first. But some of his images are like, yeah. So I matched and I answered and we started talking, and really interesting guy. Really enjoyed talking to him. Long messages, interesting messages. Clearly a guy who has his self-reflection game going for him. And then we're starting to set up the date, and then there are minor things that are like kind of not sitting fully right with me or leaving me with questions, but I'm like, well, it could be a number of reasons, so like this. you know. and we had finally planned, we cemented the plans yesterday, and I was supposed to meet him today at 12. And I woke up and I'm just like, no, I'm not, no, I can't do this. And it's so interesting because if someone's attractive, I'm more inclined to going. I mean, maybe it makes sense that the attractiveness, that if I have questions or like or some things are not fully on board, I'm more likely to go through with it because he's really handsome. this guy wasn't. And then I mean, it's so interesting because I kind of, maybe this is also just dating, like giving it a chance, because I knew he wasn't my type when I first swiped him. And maybe it's just, that's the process of figuring things out. But I was thinking when I woke up this morning of like, if I go, I will like talking to him a lot, and then I'm like, okay, he's not exactly my type, but he's good looking enough. And then I will argue myself into it, which I've done multiple times, which ends up me trying to make the relationship work for 2 years, give or take. So I kind of like don't want to put myself in that position. And then just knowing, like then feeling the relief, like, okay, I don't have to go on the date. And then all kinds of things show up. And I mean, this is so interesting because I'm like, wow, I'm choosing, I should push myself. And I have, this is what I'm working on lately, like the pattern of pushing myself, forcing myself, this constriction, contracted feeling. Not openness, not luscious, not nourishing, none of that. So I'm thinking, well, I have to give him a chance. Maybe I'm missing the love of my life here. Like, all kinds of things. I can't know until I meet him. I'm making a rushed decision. I'm just scared. This one is what I think gets me the most, because I know I am scared. I know I have fear of So when I get this argument of, oh, you're just scared, you want to live in fear for the rest of your life, you want to, like, that's how you want to lead, and I know there's fear there, so I'm like, yeah, that's true. So maybe I am just choosing this. Maybe I'm just being super avoidant. I can't live my life like this. There's no trust in me that I can, like, when my feeling is like, no, I don't want to, there's no trust in that, okay, that's an accurate assessment. Whether I can name it or not, whether I understand it or not, this is my innate wisdom. Like, this is me picking up information on some level that's not matching with what I want. There's no trust that if I lean back into just this, I want to feel relaxed and open and like I really want to. It's not like, that's not like, it's not how life works. There's a ball coming. I will start to feel ashamed and awkward. Don't want it to come here. So then I have all that going. And then I'm like, well, I can just show up. It's just one date. It's just one date. What's so bad about that? And I have all sorts of arguments going on in my head. But the only thing that will really make me feel like I am now, relaxed, more open, was to cancel. So then I'm going into that, and then I'm just like, one thing that comes up then is like, and I was journaling about this in my morning pages, and it's just so much my mom in my head, of feeling like the feeling is that I am, because I was sitting with there's some part of me that's just no, like no, I'm not doing that, and then there's a part that's trying to argue that first part into, well, try, give them a chance. It's like standing in front of someone like my parents or someone else who can't really emotionally attune and see where I'm at, and this part being like, well, but you haven't really given them a chance, you haven't really put your vulnerability fully on display in their hands and given them a chance to actually learn or to pick it up or to get it. So it's this, I should at least do that. Can't you believe so much is coming up just in one, this is just my morning for a date. So there's me wanting to cancel and sitting with this fear of, because of this one, which is so impossible according to this one, I'm like, this one, believe that this one will never, it's never going to, just this preemptuous or pre-assumptuous or whatever the word is. There's not enough awareness to know that, but this one assumes that this one's going to just like double down and dig heels in for everything, absolutely everything. I imagine because my mom would throw me 100 solutions, or at least a few, and then I would not want any of them, probably because I wanted her to see me. And the boat's turning around and it's going away. So I think that because she gave me all the options, I mean, she gave me all the options she knew, but she didn't give me all the options that exists. But I didn't know that as a kid. So for me, I was given all the options and none of them were okay. So since I cannot take any of the options that exist, I must be impossible. And so it's a me problem, kind of. So I think I'm going to hell in a handbasket. I'm just futility, hello, hopelessness, hello. Nothing's going to work. And it's my fault. Nothing's going to work because I'm impossible. Because I just don't want to. Like, when I'm in that, the belief is so strong, the feeling is so strong that, like, it really takes me a lot to remember that I have, like, some experiences with my practitioner, for instance, where something can actually be different. But then I'm going into, like, writing the cancellation message, and it's so interesting seeing myself how I write those, and I've paid attention for a long time, and I tend to, I have a really hard time practicing. I'm getting really good, but I'm having a hard time seeing my decision as valid, that it's actually allowed to, okay, I'm not feeling this anymore, and that's okay. I'm allowed to say no to this. And partly because of all this shit stirred up, but also because I expect being made wrong and blamed and all that. So I'm tempted to write in the message, give some excuse, you know, and not just be straightforward and honest and own that I'm not feeling it. So a carefully crafted message later. I was able to write like with my heart open and being understanding and being kind and taking ownership and being respectful, canceling the date. And then comes the interesting thing, because then we have a conversation back and forth, kind of like debrief process. Him being upset, but not taking it out on me, but just being honest about how he's feeling. And the last message he left before I left to come here to the sun was, so now what? And I can feel myself, I do this every time. I can feel, well, maybe we can, because I like talking to him. So I get into, I think, the part of me that doesn't want to let go. I want to hold on. And then I will usually be like, let's try to be friends. And down the line, that's not really what I'm after, so I will not be all in. Then I'll have to do the whole thing again. Sucks. And I'm really feeling nice. But this time he is really nice. Maybe we can make it work. I do not have too many friends to spend time with in person. He lives close by. But knowing myself, I will not put in the effort. So the right thing to do, and I should do, which doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to do it. But if I really were to give myself the most relief, I'll just end it. But I don't want to. So let's see where that leaves me. It's just this process of knowing I'm working with my beliefs and patterns around trying and putting in so much effort. That's where I'm at. And being in the trenches, kind of feeling everything coming up and going into the pattern and saying yes when I should say no and repeating things and then having to pull myself out. But this is the practice ground. I mean, this is the training. This is it. This is doing the work. And then when making the new decisions, like canceling instead of, and I was close to forcing myself to go. Also though, thinking about how I would have felt in that position if I was in his position and someone were unsure about me, but they weren't able to handle their own guilt of hurting me, so they went anyway, just to then kind of like fade out or ghost me after. I'll be like, what kind of weak person is that? Like, that just have control over yourself. Like, be better, do better, treat me with respect. Like, don't let your cowardice hurt me. Be a man. So I'm kind of also thinking, like, treat him with respect, this guy. Don't drag him along. It's not fair. Just because I'm scared of hurting his feelings and bringing up all the stuff that me canceling is going to bring up in him. Which it did bring up those things, because he voiced that in the message. It's something to be able to hold that and cancel anyway. And when he puts some of that back on me, although not not viciously, but still sharing that and being like, yeah, I get that, being able to hold that. It's just making these new choices, and I am not naked. I can see now that it looks like that. Yeah, because you should think that, oh, I'm freeing myself from this pattern, so I'll feel awesome. But what you're left with is, for me at least, I make these new choices, and now I'm sitting in this, well, actually, I'm feeling kind of relieved, and I'm feeling kind of, there's place for pleasure in my body. I can feel that. There's an openness in me, which is nice. But in the background, there's also this void of aloneness, like existential void, loneliness, and I'm glad it's not in the forefront at this moment, because it's painful when it is. But making these new choices, it brings up all the fears that my mom put into me. You're so impossible, you're never going to have anyone. No one's going to love you. People will just give up on you because you're unwilling to cooperate. You're unwilling to give people a chance. You expect people to be perfect before you open up. It's not how life works. She put so many things into me. So that's what I'm doing this morning. Practicing. Being in it. Sharing it with you. Wonder how, because my life is kind of like calm. I had that morning, lots of feelings and thinking and rearranging and adjusting and like practicing. And now I'm here at the beach, and I'm going to lay down, rest. I have nothing to do. I want to do some work later, but I feel calm. And I'm thinking about people who might be watching this. If you're like watching this in a rush, if you have like this voice in the back of your head being like, oh, I should do these things, but you're kind of avoiding them, and then you're kind of like watching some stuff online and scrolling. I'm so glad I feel peaceful. That I'm here now, and this is where I'm at. And this is life. Like, life doesn't happen after I've done all the things and then finally I can live. I'm living now. Now. Yeah.